and Harmony was forged by HoovesLikeJagger.
The following is an account taken verbatim from a public session of court. In this document, Vulcan the Minotaur states his case for true harmony. I, apprentice stenographer Sanskrit, have taken this record unbiased so it may serve as an accurate retelling for future generations.
Traitor to the reign of harmony, explain to us and the court why thou would have us all gathered here today. Speak, we await your answer.
Princess Luna opens the floor to the prisoner, Vulcan. Vulcan's coat is black from his years spent before the forge, and his wide eyes give away his near blindness. Despite the severity of the prisoner's situation, he does not bow or prostrate himself when before the princesses. He is to receive the highest punishment there is for his crimes, so perhaps he does not fear the worsening of his sentence.
I, Vulcan the blacksmith, am here because Princess Celestia and Princess Luna do not agree with my own ideals. They say I've threatened harmony with my creation. They do not see that my creation is actually true harmony.
Vulcan says. His voice is hoarse and his speech is simple, but each word still commands the attention of those present.
Tell the court exactly what thou hast done, prisoner.
This time it is Prince Celestia who addresses the prisoner. They say it was Prince Celestia herself who discovered the evidence of the prisoner's transgression. The whereabouts of this evidence are unknown to the general public.
I cannot deny that what the princess claims she has found. I did indeed put harmony back upon my forge in order to create 6 new, truer, and more powerful elements. Each of these new elements are what the old elements are not.
Says the prisoner, explaining his crime. There is a murmur throughout the court, which is quelled by Princess Luna raising a hoof to silence her subjects. Prince Celestia stands to address Vulcan.
For thou heinous crime, thou shalt be banished from Equestria for all time. As per your final request, thou hast been allowed to come before the court, so thou might explain thine actions. Know this, prisoner, the words thou shalt share today shall not sway this loyal decision of ours.
The prisoner bows deeply in response. He then clears his throat and begins to speak.
I am sure by now you are all familiar with the elements of harmony. Honesty, kindness, laughter, generosity, loyalty, and magic. Even when I forged them, I believed them to be genuine articles. When I put harmony back upon my forge, though, I discovered a truer path to harmony. I shall prove this to you by juxtaposing each element of harmony with its respective true element of harmony. The first is true honesty, secrecy. Those who practice honesty are just as the apple tree. They display their fruit to the world by reaching towards the heavens and bear this fruit easily for those with the strength to ask for it. But those who practice secretly are just an oyster. The fruits they bear are hidden from sight and are not always valuable. But the oyster will hold on to its treasure, even if it means death for the oyster. We should all be as secretive as the oyster is. For what value is there in a truth easily won? The ponies who give truth away freely because they are being helpful, but they are wrong. The oyster diver will always be more determined than the apple farmer. What kind of society would we live in if ponies didn't have to strive for the truth themselves? Honesty breeds sloth and ignorance. The truth does not grow on trees. But the honest throw their pearls before swine call themselves heroes. How can they be so blind? Perhaps they are not blind, but wicked. They know they can make others dependent upon them if they make themselves a front of truth. This is why it's better to be secretive, for it makes us honest. The secretive do not make claims. They do not tell others how to live their lives. And they make no pony dependent upon them. Their silence in turn makes others silent until all ponies are awash in a sea of silence. When we are deep in the waters of silence, We shall take refuge in the sands and build up our own pearls of truth. Secrecy is true way to harmony. The second element of true kindness, apathy. The kind are just a butterfly. They travel from flower to flower, ensuring the flower's survival and feeding off the flower themselves. The apathetic are just an earthworm. They hide in the ground by themselves, only surfacing when it rains upon their homes. We should be all as apathetic as the earthworm, for why should the rain on top of one mean rain upon many? The kind are purveyors of evils. Giving their kindness appears selfless, but even then the butterfly drinks the nectar of the flower it sits upon. The kind are always after something, but the apathetic seek nothing of their neighbors. The apathetic only want to go their own way and live their own lives, and do not desire anything from any pony else. The apathetic too fall upon hard times, but instead of reaching for the kindness of another, they will find their own way back to the comfort of their homes. In a world full of apathetic ponies, every pony knows exactly who they can count on. Themselves. Every pony will be stronger, more resolved if they do not seek the comfort of some pony else. The matters of some ponies should not affect the life of any pony else. The butterflies of the world would be soaked in the rain of every pony around them, but the humble earthworm stays in the dark of its home. Every pony should dig into the dirt and come out only when it rains down trouble upon your own home. It is so simple to see why apathy is truer to harmony. The third element is true laughter. Brooding! Laughter is much like a balloon. It swells with each breath, and then it flies into the air for all ponies to see and revel in. At firstly, brooding is as a stone. It sits where it is placed, and only allows for the seasons to weather and move it. All should brood, as the stone does, for why should we feed the attention seekers? Every pony knows laughter is a burden. It forces us to be joyful, even when we don't desire it. Those who try to make others laugh are wicked, for they defile the sanctity of a pony's deepest thoughts. It is through sadness and strife that we reach our rock-solid resolves and our stone-cold truth. Laughter does not breathe such deep and powerful things. It turns thoughts into air and makes our troubles float away. We need those troubles to grow and thrive. If we send them away, we are only children. The brooding are thoughtful, predictable, and quiet. They do not disturb others because they know others do not wish to be disturbed. The laughing are at fault because they disturb and quiet the break the predictable cycle of life. They disturb those who do not wish it, filling their eyes with the troubles they have foolishly discarded. To brood is to be solid, unmovable, and strong in the face of winds and tides. Why would anyone want to be a balloon when it is at the whim of all that moves and is destroyed as soon as it's left free? Now you can see why brooding is a truer way to harmony. The fourth element is true generosity, envy. The generous are akin to precious gems, lasting and beautiful. They are not easily obtained and in the mind's eye harder to give away. But the act of giving one will echo through the lives of both ponies. The envious are akin to fire. Fire is the most natural in all things in nature, easily spreading across the world and destroying all it can. All should be envious as fire is, for it isn't destruction easier to share than anything else in life. The generous are all hypocrites. They say what they do and not value and have claimed there is reason why they can give it away so freely. But if what they have is of no value, then that means no pony is a receptacle into which their empty excess to appear saintly. On the other hand, if they do not value their positions, they stand for the exact opposite of which they preach. They put stake in material exchanges between ponies, thus give freely in order to show that they are in fact virtuous. There is only virtue in destruction. To truly have nothing and ensure that no one else has nothing. To have means some pony does not want. This is the principle of envy. Generosity thinks it can eliminate want by making all have, but you can only eliminate want by eliminating all have. The envious burn and destroy the gifts they own and receive in order to place each pony on an even field. Gemstones can only reflect light of justice and truth fire brings. Fire burns equally and sets everything into an equal state of destruction. It should be so clear that envy is the truer way of harmony. The fifth element is true loyalty, duplicity. The loyal are like lightning. They are quick in their decision to defend their friends and gladly flash in and out of existence just to be steadfast to their cause. Those who practice duplicity are like a glacier. They will be steady beside you and sort of solid trust, even until the day they ultimately melt away and abandon you. All ponies should use duplicity like the glacier, for we shouldn't count on ponies abandoning us one day. The loyal are a farce in our faces. They pretend that they will be faithful until the end, but we all know where their loyalties lie in the end, with themselves. Those who would risk everything for some pony else are just foolish. The loyal just want us to believe we can put our faith in them. The duplicitous are no different, for there will be a pony for a time and truly wish that pony could be put stock into. The duplicitous are more true, though, for they are out for their own good in the end. If we know all ponies are duplicitous, can we count on them abandoning us? Each and every pony should be invested in their own interests, for that is the true way to strength. The loyal just wish to make others depend on them. The loyal cannot help but be duplicitous in the end anyway, for they are all doomed to betray and be self-serving. Duplicity is the better path, for it is truer to its own nature. For although lightning strikes fiercely, it will never touch down the same place twice. All should be as glaciers, steadfast until the sun bids them to go away, because duplicity is the only option. It is the truer way to harmony. Finally, the last element is true magic, illusion. Magic is like stars in the sky, a faraway reality that makes us yearn for a higher power. Illusion is like the night's moon, a shining ideal, which is just close enough to reach, even though it is ein and only counterfeit. All ponies should abandon magic for illusion, for why should we ever reach for something we cannot achieve? Magic is powerful, but it is only a lie. There is no magic to be seen in this world. Magic implies something beyond what is seen. But all things in this world must be seen and explained. We cannot go about preaching magic because it turns us into liars. Instead, we should succumb to illusion. Illusion makes us believe without lifting us up. If we acknowledge all the splendor around us as false and untrue, we don't need to be crushed when our lofty ideals come crashing down. Magic opens us up to harm. Illusion tells us to be aware of the evil hidden behind which lifts us up. Just as well, we should be wary. The magician will tell us over and over again to look for something they claim we can't see, but the illusionist will show us that it can't be seen. The magicians would have you believe the illusionist is the one selling falsehoods. But it is the magician who is showing us the impossible. The illusionist shows us what is possible. We cannot be stars, for the stars are far off and unreachable. We can all be moons, though, waiting to catch the light of something that is actually amazing. And so, illusion is shown to be the truer way of harmony. And so, mayors and gentle ghosts of the court, that is why I made the new elements that I forged, the true elements of harmony. Secrecy, apathy, brooding, envy, and duplicity and illusion are the true way to harmony. If you continue to let these old elements rule, your kingdom will succumb to 1,000 discords 1,000 times over. The tidal wave of disharmony will rash over your fragile kingdom again and again. Take the true elements of harmony into your hooves, and I promise you your fates will be excellent.
When Vulcan finished speaking, the court in its entirety was silent. It must have been a good minute of silence before Celestia ordered her guard to take the prisoner away. After the court was dismissed for a day, Celestia herself came to my master and No, that's because it's Sanskrit.
It's all narration.
Celestia herself came to my master and ordered him to destroy the transcript of the prisoner's final address to the court. As a royal scribe, he had no choice but to comply with the request. I knew that it was fate that I also was transcribing in court the day Vulcan spoke. I have hidden this where not even Celestia will think to look for it, so that future generations may learn of this event. I'm unsure what poison the future will make of this document, but I know if the information within it is important. I do not know what you'll do with this information, nor do I know what I'll do with it. I am only certain of one thing. It's up to us to ensure harmony endures.